She is currently distracted by the noise of her own world, absorbed in the flickering light of her screen, laughing at a joke made by someone who isn't you, and moving through her day with an ease that feels like a personal insult to your soul. You are sitting there, paralyzed by the weight of a phone that refuses to vibrate with the notification you crave, trapped in a loop of digital surveillance and emotional exhaustion. You are wondering if your absence is even a variable in her equation. You are questioning if the silence you have finally chosen is a bridge to a better future or a cliff from which you are falling into total irrelevance. You have typed out a dozen messages today, each one a plea for attention disguised as a casual check-in. And you have deleted every single one of them because deep down, you know that the 17th time you reach out won't be the charm. It will be the final nail in the coffin of her respect for you. Silence feels like losing because we have been conditioned to believe that the person who stops talking is the one who gave up. But in the realm of high-stakes emotional dynamics, silence is not a white flag. It is a fortress. It is the only weapon left when words have lost their value. You have spent months, perhaps years, treating love like a negotiation, where if you just offered enough concessions, if you just showed enough consistency, she would eventually see your worth and match your investment. You were taught that a real man fights for what he wants, that persistence is a virtue, and that the hero always wins the girl by being the last one standing. But the world forgot to tell you that you cannot fight for someone who is actively retreating from the battlefield. You cannot negotiate with someone who doesn't value the currency you are offering. Every time you reached out when she was cold, every time you double texted when she was busy, every time you rearranged your entire life to accommodate a woman who wouldn't even clear a 10-minute window for you, you weren't showing her how much you loved her. You were showing her how little you loved yourself. And humans, by their very nature, are biologically incapable of truly respecting someone who does not respect themselves. This is the hard truth of the tough love you need to hear right now. You have been acting like a fan, not a partner. You have been an audience member in her life, applauding her every move, while she has barely bothered to learn your name in the credits. But the second you stop clapping, the second you get up from your seat and walk out of the theater, the entire energy of the room changes. Right now, she is comfortable. She is safe in the knowledge that you are a permanent fixture in her reality. Like a piece of furniture that she doesn't have to think about because it's always right where she left it. You are the safety net she never has to use, but enjoys having under her. When you go silent, she doesn't panic immediately. Why would she? She is used to your gravitational pull always bringing you back to her. She assumes you are just having a busy day, or perhaps you are finally taking a nap. She expects a message by dinner, or at the very least, a good night text that reaffirms her power over your peace of mind. But then the sun goes down, and the screen remains dark. Then the next morning arrives, and the ritual is broken. The good morning text, that predictable heartbeat of your previous dynamic, is missing. Now, a tiny crack appears in her narrative. She still isn't worried, but she is curious. She wonders if you are annoyed, but she dismisses it because she knows she can win you back with a single emoji whenever she feels like it. However, as the 48-hour mark passes, that curiosity begins to ferment into something much more potent: uncertainty. Humans are hardwired to seek patterns and resolution. We despise open loops. By walking away and staying away, you have created the ultimate open loop. You have taken a story she thought she had already finished reading, and you have suddenly added a plot twist she never saw coming. You disappeared. And in that disappearance, you have reclaimed the most valuable asset any human being possesses: your mystery. If you are watching this and you feel that familiar ache in your chest, That urge to check her Instagram story just one more time to see if she looks happy without you. I need you to stop. Hit the subscribe button not as a favor to me, but as a symbolic contract with yourself. It is a declaration that you are done being a backup plan, that you are done being the guy who accepts breadcrumbs while serving a 5-course meal of devotion. The men in this community are the ones who understand that their energy is a finite resource, and that pouring it into a broken vessel is not an act of kindness. It is an act of insanity. We are the ones who choose the cold, hard reality of self-respect over the warm, fuzzy delusion of a one-sided connection. Now, let's go deeper into what is actually happening in her mind as your silence stretches from days into weeks. At first, there is a stage of defiance. She tells herself she is glad the pressure is off. She might even go out more, post more, and try to project an image of total liberation. She is waiting for you to cave. She is essentially playing a game of emotional chicken, convinced that you will be the one to swerve first. But as the silence continues, the defiance starts to crumble. She begins to realize that this isn't a, quote, tactic. She begins to realize that you might actually be gone. And that is when the psychological phenomenon of loss aversion kicks in. We don't value things when we have them. We value them when we realize we can no longer have them. Suddenly, the things about you that she found suffocating or too much are recontextualized as consistency and care. She starts to remember the way you looked at her, the way you listened when no one else did, and the way you were the only person she could truly count on. She looks at her phone, and for the first time, she feels the weight of the space where you used to be. She might try to test the waters. This is the danger zone. She will send a hey or a random meme, or she will like a photo from 3 years ago just to see if the line is still active. Most men, the moment they see that notification, they experience a massive hit of dopamine. They think they've won. They reply within 30 seconds, pouring their heart out. And just like that, the mystery is gone. The uncertainty is resolved. She realizes you were just sitting there, waiting for her permission to exist again, and her respect for you drops even lower than it was before. She has confirmed that she still owns your attention, and because she owns it, she no longer has to earn it. But if you don't respond, or if you respond with the same casual, detached energy she used to give you, the pressure on her increases exponentially. She begins to ask herself the most dangerous question a person can ask in a relationship. Did I lose the best thing I ever had because I was too blind to see it? This question is a ghost that will haunt her halls at 3 in the morning. It is a fire that your silence has lit, and you are not responsible for putting it out. You must understand that this is not about cruelty. This is about the restoration of balance. You are not walking away to punish her. You are walking away to find yourself. Because while she is having her psychological crisis, you should be having a personal revolution. This is the pivot point of the entire process. If you spend your time away from her just counting the minutes until she texts, you haven't actually walked away. You're just standing behind a door holding your breath. True power comes when you move your focus from her screen to your own life. You need to become a ghost to her and a titan to yourself. Every ounce of energy you used to spend wondering what she was doing needs to be redirected into your physical body, your career, your mind, and your mission. You need to hit the gym with a ferocity that leaves no room for sorrow. You need to work on your business or your craft until your brain is too tired to replay old conversations. You need to surround yourself with men who hold you to a higher standard and who remind you that a king does not chase a subject who has fled his kingdom. This is the tough love phase. Stop being a victim of your emotions and start being the architect of your reality. You are hurting because you have linked your survival to her approval. You have made her the sun, and you have become a cold, dark planet revolving around her. It is time to break that orbit. It is time to realize that you are the sun. When you begin to live for yourself, something magical happens to your energy. You stop radiating need and you start radiating abundance. Even if she never sees you again, the world feels it. People start to treat you differently. Opportunities start to find you. You become magnetic because you are no longer trying to pull things toward you. You are simply existing as a high-value entity. And ironically, this is often when she finally tries to come back in a real way. She sees you leveled up. She sees you happy. She sees you with other people. She sees that you have genuinely moved on. And it drives her insane because she realized that she is no longer the center of your universe. She has gone from being the queen to being a stranger, and the ego cannot handle that transition. But here is the most important part of this entire script, and I need you to listen closely. By the time she realizes what she lost, you should be a version of yourself that no longer needs her to realize it. The goal of walking away isn't to get her back. The goal is to get to a place where it doesn't matter if she comes back or not. You want to reach a level of self-mastery where her presence is an optional luxury, not a mandatory requirement for your happiness. If she comes back and she has changed, if she has realized your value and is willing to put in the work to match your energy, then you can decide from a place of power whether or not she is worthy of a seat at your table. But more often than not, you will find that the person you become during your absence is far too big for the small space she had carved out for you. You will look at her and see not a goddess, but a human being with flaws and inconsistencies that you no longer have the patience to manage. You will realize that you weren't in love with her. You were in love with the potential of what you wanted her to be. And that realization is the purest form of freedom. Think about the man who is truly unbothered. He doesn't check read receipts. He doesn't look at who viewed his stories. He doesn't wait for the right time to post something to get a reaction. He is too busy living a life that actually requires his presence. He has discovered that his peace of mind is the most sacred thing he owns, and he refuses to trade it for a woman who treats his heart like a hobby. That man is you, or he will be if you have the courage to stay the course. The path of silence is lonely at first. The first few nights are the hardest. You will feel the phantom limb of the relationship. You will reach for your phone out of habit. You will hear a song that reminds you of her and feel like your chest is collapsing. Let it happen. Feel the pain. Don't run from it. Don't numb it with distractions. And for the love of everything holy, do not use it as an excuse to call her. That pain is the sound of your old, weak self dying so that a stronger version of you can be born. It is the friction required to sharpen the blade of your character. Every day you choose yourself over the urge to reach out to her, you are winning a battle in a war for your own soul. And as the weeks turn into months, that pain will transform into a quiet, steady confidence. You will start to appreciate the silence. You will start to love the fact that no one has the power to ruin your day with a delayed response. You will start to realize that you are enough, exactly as you are, without anyone else's validation. This is the psychological power of walking away. It is the ultimate act of frame control. You are saying, I am the prize here. I am the one who brings value, consistency, and depth to the table. And if you cannot see that, then you do not deserve access to me. It is a boundary that cannot be argued with because it is backed by the most powerful force in the universe: action. Words are cheap. Anyone can say they have self-respect. But only the man who can walk away from a woman he still loves and never look back has truly mastered it. That is the kind of strength that changes the trajectory of a man's life. It is the kind of strength that makes you a leader, a provider, and a man of impact. Because if you can control your heart, you can control your world. If you can withstand the siren song of a woman who isn't good for you, You can withstand any temptation or trial the world throws your way. You are building a fortress of character that will serve you in every area of your life. Your boss will see it. Your friends will see it. Future women who actually deserve you will see it. They will sense that you are a man who cannot be bought, coerced, or manipulated into settling for less than he is worth. And that, my friend, is the ultimate win. So, as we close this out, I want you to take a deep breath and put your phone down. Not just for a minute, but for as long as it takes to remember who you were before you met her. Remember the version of you that had dreams, hobbies, and a sense of humor that didn't depend on her smile. That version of you is still there, buried under layers of anxiety and overthinking. It's time to dig him out. It's time to stop being the guy who wonders if he's enough and start being the guy who knows he's too much for anyone who isn't willing to step up. Walk away. Stay gone. Build your empire. Find your peace. And watch how the world bows to a man who finally has the balls to choose himself. You aren't losing her. You are gaining the rest of your life. You are moving from a place of scarcity to a place of absolute abundance. You are realizing that the love you were trying to get from her was actually the love you were supposed to be giving to yourself all along. The journey ahead of you is not easy, but it is the only one worth taking. You are going to be tempted to look back. You are going to have moments of weakness where you convince yourself that maybe this time will be different. It won't be. The only thing that will be different is you. When you truly walk away, you close a door that can only be reopened from the inside. And by the time you're ready to look at that door again, you'll probably find that you've moved into a much nicer house. This is your wake-up call. This is your permission to stop trying. This is your moment of clarity. Don't waste it. The silence is calling you. Embrace it. Let it do its work on her, but more importantly, let it do its work on you. You are the architect of your own value. You are the master of your own fate. You are the man who had the strength to walk away, and that is a story you will be proud to tell for the rest of your life. Now, go out there and live it. Don't look at the comments, don't check her page, don't ask your friends about her. Just move forward. The future is waiting for the man you are becoming, and trust me, he is far more impressive than the man you used to be. Every step you take away from her is a step toward the life you were actually meant to live. It is a step toward a version of you that is unbreakable, unshakable, and truly free. The weight you feel lifting off your shoulders isn't just the relationship. It's the burden of trying to be enough for someone who was never enough for you. You are free now. Act like it. Breathe it in. This is what respect feels like. This is what power feels like. This is what happens when you finally remember who you are. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you have already taken it by choosing to listen to this. Now, keep walking. Do not stop until you are so far ahead that she is nothing but a tiny speck in your rearview mirror. You have a destiny to fulfill, a mission to complete, and a life to build that is so magnificent that you will one day look back at this moment and smile, grateful that she gave you the reason to finally walk away. You were always destined for greatness, but you had to lose her to find the path. Welcome to the rest of your life. It starts now, in the silence, in the strength, in the absolute certainty of your own worth. Go get it.